If you've ever opened Canva and just stared at the blank screen, wondering what do I even design, or maybe you've found yourself dreading the design process altogether, then this video is for you. Today I'm going to help you reconnect with the enjoyment and the ease of creating. Because when designing starts to feel like a chore, that's usually a sign that something's off in the way that you're approaching it, and trust me, I've definitely been there before myself. This video was inspired by a book that literally changed my brain chemistry when it came to designing, called The Laws of Creativity by Joey Cofone. It's not a book about Etsy or print on demand. It's a book about creating and designing and enjoying the process. And there's so many things in the book that were so powerful and relevant to us as Etsy print on demand sellers that I just had to make a video about it. So in this video, I'll walk you through a few of the most powerful lessons that I took from that book and how they've helped me simplify the design process, speed things up, and enjoy building my shop again. And if this is your first time checking out my channel, then hello and welcome. My name is Cassie. I've sold over $1 million on Etsy, and I'm the founder of the mockup automation software Simply Listed, which helps you make your print-on-demand and Etsy listings so much faster and easier. But even more importantly, I've helped multiple of my students also cross that $1 million in sales mark in their store, and thousands more finally gain traction with my simple sales strategy. So if you're into Etsy tips that actually work and none of the fluff, then hit subscribe and let's dive right in. Let's start with the biggest shift. What if the problem isn't you, but what you think creativity is supposed to look like? A lot of us think creativity looks like coming up with some wild, brilliant, never seen before idea. But that puts way too much pressure on us, turning designing into a high stakes guessing game. Here's what he said actually changed everything. Creativity isn't about inventing, it's about combining. And in print on demand, that is so true. We're not trying to come up with the next Mona Lisa, we're trying to make something that connects with people. Think about it like you're building a smoothie. You're just picking from ingredients that already exist and you know already works in smoothies. It works the same way with designs. If you pay attention to the elements of designs that are successful, you can really use the same kind of strategy. A retro font, a funny phrase from a meme, a niche like teachers or dog moms. Blend them together and you've got something that's unique and relevant. So if you've been feeling stuck, I want you to release that pressure of having to create something out of thin air that's completely different and brand new. You're not starting from nothing. You're combining pieces of what's already out there, and that is real creativity. Now let's make that combining process even easier, because you can't remix or combine things that you've never seen before, or if you don't even know what they're called. One of the most helpful habits that I've built is something that I like to call a mental design library. It's kind of like a visual filing cabinet in my brain, but a lot of times I actually keep a physical copy as well. Whenever I see a great shirt in a store or a bestseller on Etsy that's getting a lot of sales, I save it, I screenshot it, and I either save it in a folder on my phone or in an inspiration board on Canva. I even save memes if I like the layout of it, because trends aren't just about what's on Etsy. They're literally all around us. I can't stop looking at people's shirts when I'm on vacation. The more examples that you collect, the more your brain starts to see the patterns of what works. When you do this consistently, you stop staring at your blank Canva canvas wondering what to design. Instead, you open your inspiration board and it's like walking into a room full of ideas that you already love. You're not starting from zero, you're building on a solid foundation. Now, obviously, it's really important to mention here that I'm not talking about copying anyone's designs. I'm talking about taking elements from what's working from everywhere that you've seen and combining it in new and unique ways. It'd be like if you saw a layout of text on a nurse shirt and you saw a color palette that you really liked on a first grade teacher shirt, and you combined those two design styles for the dog niche. Your design doesn't really look just like either of them, but you're taking parts of what's working, whether that's the type of fonts, the layout, the colors, the types of graphics, and just finding new and unique ways to combine them to something that adds value. All right, let's talk about something really real for a second. Getting stuck. There'll be days that you open Canva, you stare at the blank screen still, and you just freeze. Or you'll spend 45 minutes on a design, hate it, and end up deleting it and feeling like you just wasted your time. And I've absolutely had those days too. I remember really vividly in the beginning having a time where I spent almost 3 hours trying to figure out how to make a design style, changing the font 5 different times, changing the graphics, not being able to find what I wanted, and after like 3 hours, just closing my laptop and feeling really discouraged. discouraged. But the problem wasn't that I wasn't creative. It's that I was trying too hard to control the outcome. I wanted it to be perfect before I let myself even explore. So here's what I do now and what Joey really teaches in this book. I tell myself, just design for 10 minutes, no pressure to finish anything, just experiment. And that usually gets the wheels turning. And if I still feel stuck, I walk away. Joey calls this switching from flow to float state. Sometimes your brain needs a little distance to figure things out. A walk, a shower, a good night's sleep. That's often when the best ideas pop into place. Being stuck isn't a sign to quit, it's just part of the process. Your job is to just keep showing up and keep moving through it. Next up is one of my favorite concepts from the book, which is don't just wait for inspiration, go get it. In print on demand, we can't just sit around and wait for lightning to happen to strike. We have listings to create and trends to stay ahead of. So instead of just hoping for a brilliant idea, try going on a research sprint. Here's what I recommend doing. Spend 15 to 20 minutes searching for that niche on Etsy and on Amazon, maybe even on Pinterest or TikTok. But then don't just look at the exact same niche and the same product that you're selling for. If you're, say, designing for a Halloween sweatshirt, don't just look at Halloween sweatshirts for examples. That's gonna make you feel like everything in the world has already been done before. Look at Halloween mugs, look at Halloween blankets, look at Halloween tote bags, look at Halloween cards, look at Halloween ornaments, look at all the different types of products, or even look at what sold well for 4th of July. Did someone mix 4th of July with human rights and get a bestseller? Did someone mix 4th of July with raccoons and get a bestseller? Can you apply what worked for 4th of July to Halloween? You could look at mugs, greeting cards, or even meme pages to see what type of humor and language people are using in that niche. You want to be looking for 3 things during this research sprint: what's working, what looks fun, and what can be combined. Then you start pulling from your own mental archive that hopefully you've been building by looking at bestsellers, saving things that you like, maybe spending 10 minutes a day saving images to a folder. That's what it can look like. That way you can pull from that mental archive and say, okay, what if I combine this retro layout that sells well in this other niche with this trending phrase in this niche that I know is selling well? That's where the best design come from. And if you don't know what you should be designing for in the first place, then I've actually got something for that too. I recently launched a monthly trend report subscription. Every month I'll show you what's selling right now so you can jump in while the opportunity's hot. And I'll also show you what's coming up so that you can be early to the next trend, holiday, or season. It's kind of like having a roadmap for your design strategy. So if you've ever sat down and thought, I just don't even know where to start, then this is going to give you a huge head start, and I'll link it down in the description. So let's wrap up with something that I know a lot of us struggle with, which is perfectionism. Perfectionism is sneaky because it feels productive, like you're just trying to make it better. But what it actually does is slow you down and keep you from finishing. I know a lot of people who spend forever just tweaking every little teeny bit of their design. But you know what? Most of the times the teeny little tweaks don't matter at all. What matters is actually getting listings up in your store so that way you can learn what your customers actually even want. The goal isn't to make the perfect design. The goal is to make enough designs so that you actually learn what works. That's how you grow. So publish the draft, share the design, learn from it, and move on. Progress always beats perfection. So here's what I want you to take away from this video. The design process can be easier. It can be faster. And yes, it can be fun again. When you let go of the pressure to be perfect and start approaching creativity like a muscle that you build, not a gift that you have or you don't. Then you start to enjoy the process so much more. Build your inspiration board, get curious, combine ideas. And if you're not sure where to start, then grab my monthly trend report and I'll give you an idea of what's selling right now on Etsy that you can start designing for today. If this video helped you, then hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below what part of this video actually resonated with you the most. Are you gonna make any shifts in your design process? And are you gonna pick up the book, The Laws of Creativity by Joey Cavone? Thanks for watching, and remember, you've got this. Keep creating, keep learning, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.